Alric Edwards, Inspector of Police, and the host for today's program, Policing with You. My guest this morning is Superintendent David, the Divisional Commander for District B. The show will take his normal format, question and answer, closing. Let's get straight into it. Superintendent David. We have had a number of conversations about crime prevention. Why is crime prevention important to talk about, especially at this time of the year?
Well, first, before I answer the question, I must say good morning to everyone, GQ staff here at ZAZ, our listening and viewing audience in the different media platforms. And it's always a pleasure for me to be here to impart information on behalf of the Commissioner, Mr. Hilary Brandy, and of the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force. I will say, as we talk about tips, as we are now preparing ourselves for the Christmas and Carnival season, or the festive season in the Federation, these safety tips are important at this time. So why do we have safety tips? Safety tips are necessary to ensure that whenever persons leave their homes or they go to different areas of the Federation for varying reasons, that their home remains safe, whilst on their way off from those locations, they themselves remain safe. And whenever they park their vehicles, when we're looking at vehicles, that their vehicles remain safe as well. And therefore the tips will give enhanced information and knowledge so as to improve whatever they have or to add to whatever they did not have.
Thank you, Superintendent David. What can people do to protect their property?
Well, this is a very good question, and I like to say first that persons need to ensure that their parameters or their fencing is well. So you need to fence your premises. If you have not fenced your premises, you need to ensure that you have sufficient lighting around it. You need to have necessary security devices. It could be cameras, it could be even an alarm system. Whenever you hear dogs barking, pay attention to that, look out. Before you go to sleep or go to bed, ensure that all your doors and windows are locked, not closed, but locked, because I know that in the past we have had persons who just pull in the doors and then an intruder come and take advantage of the premises. We are also encouraging neighbors, respond to the sound, the unusual sounds and movements in your neighbor's premises, because you ignore that, you might just become a victim as well, because we have seen that in the past. So we're encouraging neighbors as well to be proactive and interested in what is taking place at your neighbors. You need to trim bushes, like I said. You know, there are a lot of people like flowers or they like fruit trees. Ensure that you do not have too much obscurity, whether you're looking out or someone looking in, because a passerby can see something unusual and raise an alarm. And finally, I will just say that, you know, some of us, we have empty plots of land around our homes, and if they're overgrown, once you know the owner of the property or the person who's taking care of it in the absence of the owner who might be overseas, build a good relationship and ask that person to either cut it or you cut it yourself, and if they will permit you, you can have a garden there as to keep it down. So these are the things around, some crime tips around the home, you know.
Thank you, Superintendent. So how can people protect themselves?
In terms of protecting oneself, yes, we know that we have the carnival or festive season now at this time, so therefore we know there will be a lot of trade, a lot of buying, a lot of selling. So I am just saying to persons, do not expose large sums of cash in the public. Try as much as possible to take little with you, make your orders before, or use your cards. Use your cards. Also avoid walking in lonely areas by yourself. Do not leave your vehicle parked in an area that is unsecured. Ensure that the windows and doors are locked rather than the door is closed, the window is partly down, and then someone can go and take advantage of your vehicle easily. I mean, in terms of whenever you leave the vehicle, whenever you're walking and you feel unsafe, ensure that you have your communication device. If you see a suspicious person following you, take out your phone, make a call. Make sure you have a good view of that person so you can describe later to law enforcement or any other person who may come to your assistance. Also to ensure that especially children, your parents or your guardian or whosoever is responsible for you, are aware of your location and the routes you're going to take, you know. But it's most important for children to walk busy areas as opposed to a lonely, bushy area that they can become a victim. It could be sexual, it could also be money. And in terms of traveling for the deceased now going to places, avoid arguments and ensure that if you have a disagreement, resolve it peaceably. So we need to learn how to resolve disagreements without violence, or even threats, threats of violence. So these are some of the things that we say to person. Drink responsibly if you're going to drink. You feel like you're getting too much, it's time for you to put it down and go home. Alcohol, we know, stimulates certain things in person. You become more argumentative, more talkative, and more touchy. And as a result, sometimes your saliva bubbles up in your mouth and you come out and hit people. But if you know you're drinking and you're going to talk in people's face because of COVID, wear your mask. Wear your mask or have that safe distance. But we know how it is, human nature. So these are the tips for persons too. Ensure that your safety is maintained all the time wherever you go.
Thank you, Superintendent. What about vehicles? We get reports of larcenies from vehicles all the time. What steps should someone take to secure their vehicles?
Well, as usual, we're always telling persons, ensure that you park your vehicle in a secured area, or if you're not secured, in an area that the road is busy. You know what I mean? I would not park my vehicle on a road where hardly anybody walk. You can become a victim. Also too, valuable items do not leave exposed on your seat and the vehicle is unlocked. Sometimes even if it's locked, you come back and with a glass damage. So you need to take all of these safety measures into place. Lock all your doors and windows before you leave. And also too, you can, depending on what you're doing, make periodic checks on the vehicle to ensure. You hear a burglar alarm go off on a vehicle, check to see if it's yours, and ensure that you are fully aware where you park your vehicle. There are some people that will forget where they park the vehicle depending on what you're doing. So you have to be aware of where you park your vehicle. And in terms of where we have a lot of bushy areas and so forth, where people can hide behind and then later come out and do your thing. Ensure that the area is not full of obstruction or obstacles that will minimize or totally block out your view. So you need to ensure that you and other persons or the passerbys can see. And this one is for the general public. You see someone moving around another person's vehicle and you are certain that that is not the person's vehicle. You can either scare the person away or call law enforcement. And if you believe the person is suspicious, call police. If you reach and it is the owner or relative, we will be able to know how to address that matter. But that we need to look out for each other, because at any time, anyone can become a victim of any type of crime.
Thank you, Superintendent. It is no break at this juncture for a word from our sponsors. Upon our return, we will open up the lines and solicit calls in from the general public. Thank you.
Roll up to roll up, cause no man's alone, do what's right, alright, cause I love you, brother, my sister, and we're in this together, my sister, my brother, I don't wanna lose you, I love you too much, I think it's better for us, yeah, it's better for us, yeah, I don't wanna lose you, I love you too much, yeah, it's better for us, tell your mommy to let it roll out.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Protect yourself from the novel coronavirus. Wash your hands thoroughly and frequently for at least 20 seconds each time. Avoid shaking hands and touching your face with unclean hands. If you have to cough or sneeze, do so into your flexed elbow or a paper towel and then dispose of it. Keep a distance of 3 feet away from anyone with the cold or flu-like symptoms. Boost your immune system with vitamins, drink plenty of water, and get adequate rest. Visit your doctor, the nearest hospital, or health center if you or a family member becomes ill. A message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Hold on, stop. Think about the drink before you take a drop. Read up on the label on the back. They say sign sugar, low in fat. But don't be fooled by that. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, yeah.
This message is brought to you by Lake Health and Wellbeing.
Experience the value. Get the cable's value bundle today. Internet, Ultra TV, free HBO Max, and a free Cable Platinum Loyalty MasterCard for only $157 monthly. Feel the thrill of 74 channels of Ultra TV. Feel the rush of the cable's 35 megabyte Bolt Internet. Maximum streaming entertainment is free with HBO Max and the ultra convenience of the Platinum Loyalty MasterCard. Shop, save, share, and don't forget, get a free internet upgrade when you pay your cable bills with Platinum Loyalty MasterCard. Not a cable customer? Sign up today and get more out of your internet, TV, shopping, and payment experience. The cable's value bundle, Ultra TV, internet, free HBO Max, and Platinum Loyalty MasterCard at $250 value for only $157 per month. Call the cable 465-2588 and come experience the value.
Thank you, GQ. It's been here, David. In addition to crime prevention, the police is also asking the public to pay more attention to road safety. Can you give our listeners and viewers an idea of how many accidents we've had for the year so far?
Indeed, we have seen where we have more vehicles on our road, therefore we have more road users, more people getting their licenses, and as a result you also have some people that want to take chances to drive without license, drive without insurance. And then also we have our roads. They were in a state, now they have improved a lot, so therefore what we are now seeing a lot more accidents. And thus far for the year, when I did some checks, we have 4,378 traffic accidents. In terms of whether the severity of the accidents, I will not present that at this time, but it's something that we have to consider. 4,378, that's a lot of accidents. And persons just need to pay attention to what they are doing on the road. Now, somebody may ask, well, what are the causes of these traffic accidents? Most of the time, they're just heedless of traffic and they drive without due care and attention. And we have speeding, careless driving, and in some instances you can have reckless driving. But on a daily basis, we have more of a driving without due care and attention for the road users. And speeding is one that contributes to a lot of the accidents. Someone can be driving slow. You might look across the road just and look back a vehicle in front of you, you might be able to apply a brake and avoid an accident. However, if you're traveling at a speed that will not allow you such response time. More than likely, when you get into an accident, you have serious wreckage, injury, or death. And we are saying to persons, we need you to prevent these things from happening by you just taking a lot of things into consideration. First, your safety on the road. Secondly, the safety of the passengers with you. And thirdly, the safety of other road users. Persons, once they take these things into consideration, it is believed that we will have better driving on the road, we'll have less incidences of traffic accidents, serious wreckage, injuries or death. In terms of speeding, I just want to tell persons, look, our country and every country around the world have a speed limit. Our speed limits, we will look at built up areas and non-built up areas. So within built up areas, villages and towns, speed limit is 20 miles per hour. So we deal with miles and not kilometers. So I want persons that we deal with miles and not kilometers. So in the built up area we have 20 miles, and outside this, the villages and towns, 40 miles per hour. However, there might be a road that the licensing authority, along with the district officers and so forth, look at the dangers that might be there and make some adjustment to certain things. You may have a sign placed down. You may have speed bumps. I know there's some areas in some villages there might be a long straight road, and there may not be any indication to show that it should be 20 miles per hour. But once you're in that area, it has to be 20 miles. And then persons like we drive up there like they're on a drag strip, not taking into consideration the safety of a child that might just run out the gate, a dog run across the road, or a sheep, and you have to swerve and then you end up in someone's house. So apart from an accident on the road where you can cause, you end up in a house. And some persons might be there watching television and look at the disaster that you created. So we looking at that. And we are saying to persons as well, we have some signs around school zones, and if you look at carefully, the school zone are still saying 20 miles per hour. Pedestrian crossings, we are saying to persons, when approaching a pedestrian crossing, ensure that you observe that persons are not crossing or attempting to pass. If persons are attempting to pass, two things should happen here. The pedestrian should give the driver ample time to take notice of your intention and stop to permit you to pass. If you realize as a pedestrian that did not occur, your duty and responsibility is to remain there until it is safe for you to make that attempt. Now with the advent of the traffic lights in our federation, ensure that the light says go, not just walking is permitted, or walking when the light says do not walk. You're committing an offense. If you get struck, some person will say, well, I will get paid, but we do not know what will happen to you afterwards. You could have serious body defects or you can die. No amount of money can bring you back 100% or bring back your life. So we're saying use road safety and go down common sense when you're using the road. In terms of our strategy to ensure that we continue with the road safety, education, what we are doing now, we're educating the public. Our presence on the road has intensified, and we will continue to use the necessary devices to ensure speeding. We control speeding. Persons who have heavily tinted vehicles and you have poor vision. Why put on heavy tint? You can't see now, you're blind. So we are saying to persons, do not overly tint your vehicles that will blur, obscure your vision and get into unnecessary accidents. We will be continuing to issue tickets and summons persons for these traffic offences, and road traffic signs we place in areas where we realize that they're required. I will just give some road safety tips. We are saying to persons, drive within the speed limit. You know, Reggae Beach have a saying, rush slowly. Persons have to know that they are on an urgent errand, but drive within the speed limit. If you know that time is of the essence, leave prior. You know, every morning you will leave, and when you see a long traffic jam, everybody want to go to work 8 o'clock, 5 minutes to 8. Well, you're definitely going to reach after 8. So buses, you need to have to hold these people accountable for that. They reach and you work late and they could do better. So bosses, you need to take part in this action here as well to ensure that we have better usage of the road and you have person speeding. Overtake or pass vehicles when it is safe for you to do. There are some persons, regardless of what is happening, a vehicle is coming straight ahead of them and they walk out. Well, I'm in a race car, so it can take me just a few seconds. But the seconds come to minutes and then you crash. But then, you know, we have these super bikes. A man walk out, oh, hey, this is Superman, so I can just zoom through there. But you crash, but guess what happened? You become the most impacted victim. You on a bike, no protection at all. Some of them, they want to taunt us as law enforcement. Do not wear helmets. Pop in the wheelie on the road and feel like it's okay. And when they get in a crash, it's a problem. You're seriously injured, a family, you may die. Then family members may not understand the circumstance as yet. They might angry with the other driver. They might be angry with the police and all sorts of the persons they're angry with. But what about your loved one who failed to heed the rules of the road? Drive as close as possible to the left side of the road at all times. That is safe for you to do. You wouldn't hit an oncoming vehicle. This is something I'm saying to our big truck drivers. Blow your horn when you're going around corners that you know you cannot see around. Because you're going to go around here trying to clear passage on your left, so you take up a piece of the right. And if you take up a piece of the right and you go around silently like an electric vehicle and a vehicle coming there, the chances of an accident has increased. And depending on both of your speed, the wreckage and injury can be that, and you can even have a death. So we're saying to persons in these trucks, you have an extra care. When you're on the road, your vehicle is larger and it takes up more space, and more than likely it's more solid. So you know what can happen to the other person. Do not overtake or pass another vehicle near a by road on your right. And a person will say, man, he ain't going up there. You see the indicator yet? And some people may not indicate, but then as soon as you pass it, you strike the vehicle. You will be in the wrong because you're supposed to ensure that it's safe for you to do, and you should not, based on the law says, overtake in those areas. You have to make sure that it's safe for you to cross. Motorcyclists, we are saying to you, wear your helmet at all times. Apart from having a broken hand or a broken leg, a head injury in most instances end up in death. That's a protection for you. That's the best protection you may have so far. You may not be full, but protects your central arm part of your body. Respect the rights of other road users. You know, I like to say this. The way a man behaves in his home or walk on the road, that's how he drive a vehicle.
What he thinks.
Yeah, man, a man, they say, but I don't care if I mash you. Well, if he ain't care if he mash you, he don't care if he hit you.
Yeah.
So he just bang into your vehicle and gone. And then, you know, what happened there just now? You didn't even see the number. So who you going to complain? So you end up with a cost. But when the shoe goes on the other foot, you understand what I'm saying? Big problem, but they just did it to somebody last week. Now this week is their turn and they're up in arms. So respect the rights of other road users and pedestrians. I am saying to each and every one of us, we walk the road sometimes. We are flesh and bones, blood and other things. We are not metal or stone or piece of wood. Our road safety measure must be extremely high. You know, wherever I go, once I am crossing a road, I don't care how much the light says walk, I'm running. Because we have seen people walking on the road, somebody just come across and just clean up everybody. So I want to get the guards very quick. You know, and I'm saying to our road users as well, this one is a very good one. Whenever a police officer or traffic warden in uniform is stopping the traffic, you must comply with the hand signal. Go left, go right, stop. Do not argue, comply, comply, comply. It is very important. I want to make this one special. Our traffic wardens, they're doing a very good job. And I have seen, I have heard that some of our drivers, they are very verbally abusive towards our traffic wardens. I always say, summons them and levitate them before the court, because you are an authoritative figure when it comes to the traffic road safety matter. Nobody should be disrespecting them, and it has to stop. in order for us to continue have good road safety measures. I like to say for persons who are not familiar, because they might have heard me say overtake or pass, but I just want to let them know what overtaking is. Based on the interpretation of the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, it says overtaking includes passing or attempting to pass any other vehicle proceeding in the same direction, or any vehicle which is stationary on the same side of the road. So some people may believe you only overtake a vehicle when it's driving. No. Once you park on the same side of the road as you, you're overtaking the vehicle.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Superintendent.
Yes.
What are some of the main causes of accidents?
Well, we look at, like I said, speeding, driving without due care attention. We also have persons who just decide, look man, I don't care, I'm going to drive too still. But most of it is driving without due care attention, and then we have speeding. Speeding is one of the cause, and it leads to, especially if the road is wet and the type of roads we have, you may have defective tires and the road anyway to get slippery. So persons will claim that they lose control of the vehicle, but clearly the tire impression on the road speaks volume. And I like to tell officers you got to pay attention to that, because the tire impression on the road, say you have a tire impression on the road for say 50 meters or so, you see that's indication of speed. A fella come around a corner and then he swing to the other side of the road. That could be speed, and he lose control. So we are saying to persons, just ensure that your speed is within the speed limit, and that you respect the rights of other people on the road. In terms of the speed and the driving without due care and attention, we also have the dangerous driving. You know, a person, for example, let us look at the motorcyclists. A good number of them, they drive through a line of traffic with one of the wheels in the air. I mean, you don't have proper control of the vehicle. And if somebody swerve, I don't believe that you'll be able to maneuver quickly and safe enough. So you might drive straight into that vehicle. So those are some of the causes, and the main causes I see that we contribute to a lot of the traffic accidents we have.
Thank you. I want to piggyback on the first question I would have asked. It relates to crime prevention and household, and so to make your target a harder target.
Yes.
You didn't mention cameras.
Oh yes. Cameras. Persons need to install cameras, and there's so many different types now. And you need to have those that have good pixel. I like to tell persons that try to get one that you can take a little dot and blow it up like the moon, so, and you get all everything you can see there. The reason being is that in assisting us as law enforcement, we find that sometimes the cameras, the footage is not that clear because it's not good quality, and we want persons to be able to help you when you become a victim. And if you have some that have the capability of voice, you can say, what do you want? Some people may run away when they hear the voice because they're looking where it comes from. And you need to also ensure that your camera also is safe. You know, your camera is safe. So you can have different cameras there, more than one. And one of them, yes, it's quite clear to warn the person, and the other person, if you believe you're smart, well, this one you will never see it, and I always seen you. So these are the things that it may cost a little, but at the end it protects you, and it helps to bring the perpetrator or perpetrators to justice, and also to ensure that they're good at nights. They're good at nights because some persons buy cameras that can be used at night, and also to the footage as well is poor. So we're just saying get good quality cameras at all times, and be able that the camera, wherever you could be in Mars, and when intruder come, you will know, because that it will trigger something to your phone, and you'll be able to see and then inform police if you do not have a security company monitoring your cameras.
Thank you, Superintendent. And the last point is the government. I think the government offers duty-free and commerce. So it's easier for you to pay customs and what's not. So, but investing in commerce is the way to go right now.
Yes.
Right. How can people be safe on the street?
Well, we want persons to walk safely in the street. We want persons to walk safely. And some persons, like I said, they will not pay heed to what is going on with traffic. And then also too, we want persons to, some persons will have their wallets or their phone exposed walking, and then you got your crowd. Somebody can bump into you. All you feel somebody pressing you, may not feel when that is disappeared. We want persons to also ensure that they walk in areas that are safe for them to walk. Example, if you're a young girl and you walk through a bushy area, the risk of someone who sees you and wanted to interfere with you now increase higher, and for you to become a victim of a sex crime has increased. In terms of monetary crime now, still you can be robbed. So it's not just for children now or females now, for anybody. Best to walk in an area where there are a lot of people moving on the road, and not only just where a lot of people, but if you find where a number of people, all of them involved in criminal activities, why go amongst them and you're not a part of them? Do also making yourself more vulnerable. Because of the festive season coming up on Christmas, just try to avoid as much cash as possible on your purse now, exposing it, and use cards and make your orders before. I will say this one for the business persons. If you can encourage your customers to make orders before and pay for it, you and them have less cash at the time of the busy time.
True.
So therefore, in terms of you making a heavy loss, that will be greatly reduced. I am saying to persons who go out and perpetrate these crimes, it is time for you to be looking at being gainfully employed, support your family. You know, some persons will say poverty creates crime, but it's you create crime. Everybody had a choice. Sure. I mean, we in St. Kitts and Nevis, it's a good percentage of us, but I grew up in poverty. It might not be extreme, but we didn't have what we think. But look at me now, I'm the manager of this bank here. I'm the manager of this business place. I'm the commissioner of police. You understand what I'm saying?
So
I am the prime minister. I am the governor general. But what? We make our situation
better,
something that we can use to make our lives better and for our generation to come. But when we're going to use that, we're lazy. You know, we're lazy. We're trying to find an easy way. So we have to encourage our young people, our persons who are not as in a better position than we, to find gainful ways of making a living as opposed to go and hurt people and so forth in order to get that.
Thank you, Superintendent. And to add to what you just said, I want to add that I always tell persons that crime is committed when desperation meets opportunity, and persons must ensure that they do all in their power to make sure that they're not a part of the statistics. Right. For example, why would you put your laptop in your chair and park your vehicle car seat, and your vehicle is not tinted, and then you park it on a lonely road? You're creating the environment for a person to smash the window, take a laptop and fled. So I always tell people, just eliminate one of the things up there in the triangle.
Right.
You know, limit the opportunity, right, so that person don't be caught in that situation, or you just eliminate something from the equation.
Yes.
So yes.
Before we go on to one of the things I want to say, and this is coming very popular. You know, a lot of us, we want to do online business. We're trying to avoid the crowds because of COVID, and sometimes it might be cheaper and you might get better quality of stuff by ordering on Amazon or other places. Ensure that your personal information is protected, whether it's local or overseas. You have to ensure that your personal information is protected, and use credible online sources. Do not want to make money because somebody say, look, you your cousin just passed and you have $10 million here waiting for you and you provide all the information. When you look your bank account, sweep out. Word of God says the love of money is the root of all evil. Just wanted to have a good quality of life, you know, and you will not get caught up with a lot of these choppings. So whether you're in St. Kitts or Nevis, please protect your personal information when you're doing online activities. Use credible sources, and I think you will do well.
Thank you, Superintendent David. GQ, anybody?
Well, we didn't indicate that the lines are open, so if you want to open the lines, we can do so now.
Yes, well, I said that earlier.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
All right, 465-2555, 2555. Let's take our first call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Yes, man, morning.
Yeah, good morning, Inspector, and my rank there.
Good morning,
sir.
Merry Christmas when you come before I forget. And also, the new...
You there, Culture? All right, we lost Culture there. All right, we lost Culture. Culture, you can always call back. Let's try this next call. Hey, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, my friends.
Hey, good morning.
Well, we have gotten from you guys, there's a lot of food for thoughts, man. What more can we ask for? No, when it's happening to this situation, I think that people doesn't understand, but because people is just windful and out of order and don't care about other people. So you have been doing a very good job, and you know, I think that they need to take it in here, but common sense is more important. They lack that. But you all continue the good works, you know. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Thank you for your call.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution.
Yes, sorry about that.
Yes, Culture, go ahead.
Yeah, my phone have a shot. Gentlemen, thanks for the information and the advice that you have been giving us. But one thing, I would like you all to step up the enforcement on these deliberate, foolish operators of motorcycles. Now, if the maker had wanted something in front of the rider's face, they would have put something high up there enough. But the fact remains they ain't have nothing in front of it, that means your wheel not supposed to be up in the air, blocking the rider's vision. Because when anything block a rider's or a driver's vision, they're heading for collision. And last year, a gentleman get killed by a rider on a motorcycle doing that foolishness with the handle up in the air, and he can't see straight in front of him. He got to be peeping on the side to see if anything, and so therefore he exposed to get in accident. And they have a way, when a long line of vehicle is on the road driving bumper to bumper because of whatever up front, they're coming past in the vehicle with a wheel up in the air. And if somebody opens the door, there goes an accident, and then they want to fight. And the last thing, they have to learn to respect people, whether it's crossing guard or what. When a crossing guard see them breaking the law and they try to enforce the law, they want to tell them all kind of word. So therefore, I want you all to give the crossing guard them full authority to someone whosoever disrespect them. Thanks very much for the education today. Have a good day.
Thank you, Culture.
Yeah, thank you as well, man. We just had one. Hold on a sec. Let's see if they're going to call back. If not, okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. David. And this is probably our last, not the last, but our last for the year.
Not probably. It is the last program for the year.
I think next week is the last.
No, this week. This week. Yeah, actually, this morning is your last program.
Oh, I thought it's next week.
Yeah.
Well, today is our last.
Yes.
So I wanted to extend best wishes and salutation to the listening audience in your closing. So can you?
Thank you very much. I just want to say something that Culture said. Yes, I mentioned earlier that we will be our presence on the road. We will be increasing that. We'll intensify traffic, the issuance of traffic tickets, and summons in person and make arrests where necessary. It has been a pleasure being in the area with your JQ and being here with the staff of ZIZ and our good listening and viewing audience on the various media platforms, to share information with you that can enhance your knowledge regarding crime and road safety within the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis, and also to let you know some of the things that the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force are doing. And we have done a good job thus far. and with the help of God, we will continue to do so. We will ensure that our police officers, I know there are some persons who would have had concern with police officers as well, that our officers are more in tune with the concerns of the public, how we are policing them, and that we will make the necessary adjustments. And as persons who want to see the police make the necessary adjustments as well, we are saying to you, going into the new year, and now as we're going to face our festive season, that you too have to make adjustment with your attitude and behavior towards us as law enforcement, because when we have to bring to you an infraction that you have committed, don't get highly annoyed and want to be combative, but just concede and say, okay, officer, I apologize. You might get a break when you apologize. So we're saying to you, I wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year when it comes. This is from the Commissioner, the High Command, the rank and file of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, my behalf and my family to you, and that we're saying to you, enjoy the time. Yes, we have seen restrictions regarding COVID-19 lifted, eased. We will continue to see more, and although these restrictions, many of them are being lifted, you still have a due care to protect your citizens and loved ones around you by wearing a mask, hand sanitize, 6 feet apart. The whole works.
That's so true.
The whole works.
That's so true.
We want to encourage you, those of you who believe, continue to put your trust in God and love your family, love everybody, and I do believe that you will have a good life. See you in 2022, God's will. Thank you very much for having me, and do enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Superintendent David. I too would like to thank GQ. Welcome back, and this today is the first time I would have seen you since you left on vacation. I hope you had a very restful vacation.
Oh yes, man.
Thank you, Superintendent David, for being here. I want to thank the management and staff of ZIZ for allowing us to be here week after week. To the person who called in this morning, I want to thank you, Culture and the others who would have called in and asked questions and contributed to the program. I want to say thank you. And to those of you who thinking about calling in and afraid, I want to encourage you to call in. But I want to extend a very advanced and Christ-centered Merry Christmas to all the Kittitians and divisions here in St. Kitts and Nevis and in the diaspora. And a bright and healthy and prosperous 2021. I want to thank you all for listening and see you all in 2022. Thank you.
Equal rights for all.